Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, it's a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I've had this for about 2 months now. I'm a beginner vlogger and I'm going to let you know my likes, my dislikes, my settings, and also give you some footage because I'm currently recording on my iPhone and on my DJI Pocket 3. So I'm going to let you know the settings that I'm using. It's going to be a fairly beginner friendly review because I'm new to vlogging. So I want to just get right into this video. First of all, I purchased a creator combo. There are so many videos about unboxing this, so I'm not going to really go in depth because I think you guys pretty much know what's inside the creator combo. I am going to talk a little bit about the gear that I have, I guess the gear that I have and the gear that I'm thinking of purchasing. Now, this is a basic silicone case that I have for my DJI Pocket 3. It comes with a cover for the gimbal and a cover for the screen, or I could also use the protective cover that comes in the creator pack. I've heard pros and cons about this, so I decided to just get a silicone case. After using this and vlogging out in the world, I have basically come to the conclusion that I want to purchase a carrying case so that I can protect the screen, I can protect the swivel, nothing kind of opens up on me by accident and it doesn't damage the gimbal. So that's what I'm thinking of doing moving forward. Although I do like having the silicone case a little bit more ruggedized so it's easier to hold on to. I just think that because there are so many moving parts, that they can easily get damaged. I don't want the screen to get damaged, and I have seen several videos or handful of videos where there are issues with the gimbal or issues with the swivel screen. So I'm really trying to make sure that I can get a case that will protect both of them, especially if you're a person like me who, when you're vlogging, you take your equipment out very quickly so you can capture the moments. And I find that most people purchase this because they are shy vlogger, so you want to be discreet with it at the same time. Again, you don't want to damage your equipment. So accessory wise, I have the silicone case. I'm going to link the other case that I'm interested in purchasing. Just after using it out and about at restaurants, I figured that I don't want to just be taking this out, putting it in my purse, which I was doing, and I found that the gimbal was just, the screen was just opening or the lens would just like flip open. So I don't want it to get damaged. Moving forward, I think I'm going to get a carrying case so that I can protect this as much as I can. So that's all that I have for gear. I may invest in stuff in the future, but right now, those are the two things that I have already purchased or I'm going to be purchasing in the future. I'll put a screen capture here as I go over the settings on my DJI Pocket 3. The bottom of your screen and you're swiping up. For resolution, I am filming in 4K at 30 frames per second. In the past, I have filmed 4K 60 frames per second, and to be quite honest, it takes up a lot of space. I've done it on my iPhone and I've also used it on the DJI, and honestly, it takes up a lot of space. So after looking at a lot of reviews online, I've decided to either film in 4K 30 frames or 4K 24, 25 frames per second. And I find my footage, my recordings are still pretty good quality and I still want them to look natural as possible. So that is my compromise, I guess, or where I'm the most comfortable filming and recording right now, and I'm also saving on my storage. Now, if you're swiping right hand of your screen and you're swiping towards the center, my DJI, I put it in the Pro setting, and this is where you're going to see exposure, your white balance, your glamour effects, your color, your focus mode, and your image adjustment. Right now, my exposure is on auto. I'm not really going to mess with the exposure too much because I am recording in D-Log M. I will go back and change and tweak the exposure. White balance is also on auto. The reason I decided to keep my white balance in auto because I was finding that I move from indoors to outdoors quite a bit when I'm vlogging, and I didn't want to be playing around with the white balance depending on the environment that I was in, so I just decided to keep it on auto. Glamour effect, I turned that off. My color, I have been between recording in D-Log M. So I found if I'm in regular video format, the D-Log M feature is there. However, if I'm recording in low light, isn't much that you can do when you're filming in low light. Want to have a little bit more flexibility with the color, I would recommend to just stay in regular video. I learned that lesson when I was recording recently. My most recent vlog was filmed all in low light setting. If I can, I will stick to just regular video setting so that my color will either be in D-Log M so that I can go back in and do the color grading on the Mimo app. I will talk about that a little bit later. So for focus mode, I'm in continuous. For adjustment, I have my sharpness at -2 and I have my noise reduction at -1. How I came to that is mostly just when I'm editing my own videos or if I'm editing photos. I find that that's where I like my sharpness and my noise reduction. So I've kept them there. The mode for my gimbal, I'm in the follow mode for my gimbal. Those are my settings. Now I want to get into, I guess, like the recording and the editing. As I said, I typically record in the D-Log M. I was back and forth between either filming in D-Log or normal. I'll put the normal setting up here. I'm currently recording in normal, and I would say it is probably the easiest if you are a beginner to just keep your DJI Osmo Pocket 3 on the normal settings. If you're not interested in color grading, if you're not interested in going back and doing a lot of editing and tweaking, the normal setting might be the best setting for you. I will say if you do choose to film in D-Log, that you can go back into the Mimo app and you can do a bit of color grading. There's an easy button for you to press in the Mimo app for you to instantly color grade so you don't have to think too much about it. Or if you really want to go back and tweak your exposure, your sharpness, your saturation, similar things that you would do with your photos, you're able to do that within the Mimo app and do that to your videos as well. So if you're comfortable with that, I would say go ahead and film in the D-Log. I personally now am comfortable filming in D-Log because the Mimo app has that color grading button, so it will automatically do that for me. And in the past, I did use the regular normal, but there's less that you can do when you're in the normal setting. So I also just wanted to have some footage of how I use the DJI Osmo Mimo app and specifically how I go into the app and I use the log recovery. I believe it's called log recovery, color recovery to basically do the color grading for me when I am filming and recording in regular video D-Log. So it's pretty simple. If you don't have other editing software, the Mimo app is going to be the best and free software that you can use. I'll put the clips here when I recorded in D-Log. Also, when I recorded in regular normal, you will notice that there isn't the log recovery button there, but you still have access to other types of filters, other types of editing that you can also use, even if you don't film in the D-Log. So there is some stuff that you can do. It's just you don't have that magic button that you can press. See, I would also mention before you completely export your footage, make sure that you turn the watermark off so that you don't have that DJI watermark on your footage. It is pretty easy and convenient to use in that Mimo app. So sticking to the Mimo app and editing within the app has been the greatest tool and extremely helpful. So what are some things that I like about the DJI Osmo Pocket 3? That it's very small and compact, so that is very convenient. You can put it in your purse or carry it in like a very small carrying case. I was vlogging the past weekend. I would say I am a shy vlogger. I'm trying to come out of my shell when it comes to vlogging, which is one reason why I picked up the DJI. And it does help with that. It's just very, you can keep it low to your chest or even just talking to it. Usually it's not very obvious or compared to using your phone or walking around with a camera. So I do like that it's discreet and it's compact. I must say that the gimbal and the stabilization on this is pretty remarkable. So I'm not getting that bumpy footage. I don't have to go back into an app to try and apply stabilization. I like that I can film in 4K 60 frames per second if I need to, but right now my preference is the 4K at 30 frames per second. Something else that I really like about the DJI Pocket 3 is that it has a really good built-in mic. If I'm out and about in a pretty like crowded or noisy space, I don't have to use the mic that came with the creator combo. The mic that's in here does a pretty good job of picking up my voice, and I haven't really had a use case or a need to grab the mic yet. I am happy that I got the creator combo, that I do have those extras in case I need them. One of the main reasons why I like or why I purchased the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, one of the main reasons is because I wanted a vlogging specific piece of tech. I have my phone and I've been vlogging with my phone, and I have to tell you, the storage, the amount of space was just getting a little bit much. I was using up terabytes of space. I really wanted to have something that is just specific for vlogging, that I pick up for vlogging, and that is about it. I have a Canon that I use for my photos, and I have my iPhone for recording either long form or just doing short form videos for YouTube Shorts or for Reels or for like TikToks. So I wanted to have a camera that is specific just for my vlogging, and the fact that I have storage on the DJI, the memory cards that are specific just for my long form content, and I'm not always having to clear storage on my iPhone, quickly move footage onto an external hard drive because I have everything on my memory card that is in my DJI or an extra memory card. Also want to mention that is something that did not come with the DJI. You will have to go out and buy your own memory card. The storage cards that I picked up are these ones from SanDisk. They do have 4K capability in them, so I would say that's something to look out for if you want to record in 4K. And I went and I got the 512 gigabytes. Again, I know that vlogging, especially long form vlogs, take up a lot of storage. So I made sure that I got memory cards that can do that, that are capable of holding a lot of storage. I will link these below if you are interested in getting these. Sometimes they do go on sale, so it is worth looking out for them when they are on sale. There are so many things that you can do with the DJI, even if you're an amateur or if you are an expert when it comes to videography or cinematography. It is very capable. It is a very capable piece of tech. So I am happy that I did invest in this. I would say if you're going to get it and it is an investment, to make sure that you get the warranty, the DJI Protect or Care, whatever you need to do to protect your investment, do so, because it is an investment and it can be pretty expensive. You want to make sure that you're protecting your lens and that you're protecting the swivel screen. Now, the downsides. This hasn't happened to me yet. Knock on wood that it never happens to me. I have seen online that some people's swivel screen is getting stuck or jammed some way somehow so that they can't do the full motion of the screen. So I'm starting to see that online. I've also noticed that some people are having issues with the actual gimbal not rotating all the way. So my one dislike about it is that you have a lot of moving parts. And because of all these moving parts, I am scared or nervous that they will break. So, again, making sure that you get the extra warranty or protection so that if you do have issues, it can either be replaced or you can get it fixed, and getting any covers for it or carrying it in a protective case to make sure that you are protecting your lens or protecting the screen. So that would be one of my, I guess, dislikes, a big dislike, or what I'm very cautious about is that with the phone, with using your iPhone and you have a case on it, it is like automatically a little bit more ruggedized. DJI, I find that it's really hard to make it ruggedized, or to ruggedize the DJI. There are a lot of moving parts, and you just want to be very careful with how you handle it, and that you're taking care of it. So that's my one thing, that even though I have this case on it, if it falls, it's not like the iPhone where like it can fall multiple times if you have a really good otter case or a really good case on it, and it can withstand quite a bit of falls. even when it comes to weather, like you can take your iPhone out in the heat. Obviously, not when it's like extreme heat. It can only withstand so much, but it can tolerate weather conditions a little bit better. With my DJI, if I am filming in the cold, I wouldn't take this out. I wouldn't take this outside if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's very cold outside. This is something where I really have to pay attention to the weather conditions because it can, again, be damaged due to the weather. So keep that stuff in mind. If you're someone who is very like amateur vlogger or like you kind of vlog in any type of weather conditions, something to be aware of. Someone asked me this question when I was vlogging this past weekend. They were asking if it is worth purchasing the DJI, and this is what I told them. I asked them, what are you going to use it for? I'm using it just to take regular photos or like videos of my family, the occasional, family videos, stuff like that. So I told him, well, are you really good with your iPhone? Like, if you have an iPhone, are you very good with your iPhone? He said, yeah, I was also thinking of maybe just getting a gimbal. And I said, honestly, if you are very good with your iPhone, you're proficient in your iPhone, and you're just using it for kind of fun videos, maybe just invest in a gimbal instead of getting the DJI. Um, and then I also mentioned, of course, the different settings, like a slight, I guess, learning curve. Obviously, you want to know how to use this. So you're going to want to invest time to learn how to use this the right way, getting the proper care for it, getting any cases, stuff like that. So it's another piece of tech that you have to kind of dress up and get the cases and kind of learn how to use it the best way. So I told him, maybe just stick with your iPhone and get a gimbal. That is another solution if you are a beginner vlogger, a beginner content creator. If maybe a gimbal might be what you're looking for if it's just stabilization, compared to getting the DJI. I said, however, because I am a vlogger and I wanted something that is specifically for vlogging, I opted for the DJI. So I find that there isn't an exact yes or no should you get it. I think it's really important to ask yourself why you need it. If you have the tools that you need for your use case, you can use your iPhone. You're really great with your iPhone. Storage isn't an issue. You will use it for long form, for short form. If that isn't something that bothers you or is an issue for you, you are probably great with using or perfectly fine with sticking to your iPhone or a camera that you're using. If you're looking for something that is specifically for just long form content or for vlogging, the DJI may be the best form of video recording tech for you right now. And I found that was my personal use case. And I do love using my DJI when it comes to long form content because I know everything is on here. And when it comes time to editing, it is very, my workflow for long form content is separated from everything else. And that's something that I really like. All my files aren't in the same place, which, if you create a lot of content, it can become very overwhelming to isolate the long form and short form content, especially for doing it simultaneously. So that's what I really like about the DJI, saving this for my long form content and leaving my iPhone and my other camera for other forms of content. Right now I'm recording in D-Log, 4K 30 frames per second. So if you still want to have your vertical using the DJI, you can do that. I will say to remember, you have to change the gimbal settings. So it's very important to make sure that your gimbal mode is in FPV. If you want to record in 4K 30 frames per second, making sure that your gimbal is on this setting so that you can easily flip your gimbal this way and you're not going to have that same type of movement. So that's the little trick. If you want to record vertical in 4K, then you can do that. That's a little trick or hack that I discovered. And you know what? There's a lot of tutorials, a lot of videos online if you really want to go down the rabbit hole. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any questions, just leave them below in the comments section. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's a little bit different from my motherhood and beauty and fashion content. However, I'm finding that I am picking up my DJI quite a bit when it comes to vlogging, and I really enjoy vlogging. I just wanted to share my latest tech, my impressions on using it, and I know that this piece of equipment is everywhere. So I really just wanted to share my thoughts, my first impressions, and if you're a beginner like me and you're really contemplating should you invest in this, I hope that my video has helped to answer some questions. I hope that my settings has helped to answer some questions, and just gave you a little bit of an insight if you are new to vlogging, if you're new to content creation, if you really want to invest in the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.